Namaste. A very happy Sharannavaratram to all of you. In the Bharatiya Samskati, in the Sanatana Samskati, we have two major Navaratrotsavas. One is the Vasanta Navaratra, which begins with Yugadi and ends with Ramanavami. Many times it extends till Chitra Purnima. It's a fortnight festival, rather. And then we have the Sharannavaratram, which comes in the Sharad Rutu. This season is especially uh, meant to celebrate Shakti, prowess, valor, Kshatra. So we celebrate Sharannavaratram, the 9 days, beginning from the first day of the Ashwina month, that is today. So in this Sharannavaratram, we worship Shakti. In the Vasanta Navaratram, we worship Lalitya, love, and all that. So in the Chaitra, we have a lot of uh, marriages and all such auspicious occasions, Rathotsavas, and a lot of fine arts, etc. The Sharadutsava, that is Sharanavaratri, we have a lot of Shakti Puja. And it is also the tradition to listen to the great tales of Devi, which are narrated in the Puranas. So we have a number of Puranas, including the main Ashtadasha Puranas, the 18 Puranas. There are also many Upa Puranas like Kalika Purana, etc., which describe the glory of the Divine Mother Jagannatha. So she's Adya Shakti, she's there everywhere. Sarvaswarupe, Sarveshe, Sarvashakti Samandite. She's everywhere, everything. She's manifest as this universe. It is from her Chaitanya, from her a particle of her great glory that the whole world is created. But in order to specially bless us, to make her blessing more felt for us, ordinary human beings, she manifests in different forms and names at different times to protect Dharma. Time and again, adharma increases and dharma slides down, mainly because the sajjanas lose their power. To be good is not enough, to be strong is very enough. So, Shakti and Satya have to go together. So, when Satya loses its Shakti, then Adya Shakti manifests, she vanquishes the evil and restores the code of Dharma. This happens again and again. So, the stories of how she vanquished terrible demons and restored dharma in the world, these are all narrated in the Puranas, which we usually listen to in the Navaratram. It is a sampradaya, it's called punya shravanam. This Durgasaptashati, which is a part of this Purana, it's a part of Markandeya Purana, where 700 shlokas, Saptashatam means 700. 700 shlokas are picked up, and they are the stories, three important chapters called Prathama Charitra, Madhyama Charitra, and Uttama Charitra. They are the tales of three great manifestations of Jagannatha, and it is a tradition to listen to them in the evenings of the auspicious Navaratra, and we are just doing that. May Durga Parameshwari bless our Punya Shravana. Jai Shri Durga Parameshwari Devi ki Jai. सर्वमंगल मांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते. There are many ways of celebrating Navaratram. There are many traditions. One of the traditions is of celebrating the Lalita Tripura Sundari, Parameshwari, Rajarajeshwari, uh, who is seated on the Pancha Brahmasana and on the Sadashiva Paryanka. She is honored, she is worshipped by the Devatas, Ashtadikpalakas, everybody. And there's another convention of worshipping her to the Sri Chakra. She's a Sri Tripura Sundari who resides in the Sripura, Sripura, Manipura, Bhupura. There are three Puras in the Sri Chakra. So through the Sri Chakra, through the Navavarana, she is worshipped. There's yet another system of worshipping Devi in 9 different forms called the Navadurgas in the Navaratras. प्रथमं शैलपुत्री च द्वितीयं ब्रह्मचारिणी तृतीयं चन्द्रघण्टेति कूष्माण्डेति चतुर्थकं पञ्चमं स्कन्दमातेति षष्ठं कात्यायनीति च सप्तमं कालरात्रिश्च महागौरीति च अष्टमं नवमं सिद्धिदात्री च नवदुर्गाः प्रकीर्तिताः. So all these Navadurgas, each is worshipped on each day of Navaratri. And the most popular tradition is to worship Devi as Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati in the first three, middle three, and the last 3 days of Navaratri. And these three stories are related to the Durgasaptashati, which is a part of the Markandeya Purana. So to listen to these stories is very auspicious, and let's do the same now. So long, long ago, there was a great king who was ruling. His name was Suratha. He was a very, very prosperous king, very strong, valorous. He had a lovely family and many prajas. He had all the wealth and prosperity, fame, everything that a person could wish for. But fate had its own way. Suddenly, his own people, his own sons, his own ministers, his own very loved and very trusted people suddenly started betraying him. And they betrayed him so much that they joined with the enemies, and the enemies suddenly plundered into his kingdom. They snatched away everything. He lost his power, he lost his wealth. Now, the only thing he had was his life, and he was about to lose that. So, he knew that he was not safe in his palace, too. So, suddenly, one day, in the pretext of going for a going on hunting, he left his palace and he went into a deep jungle, and he was just wandering there, and he happened to see an ashrama there. The ashrama was that of Sumedha Maharshi, a great sage. And he came to that ashrama pada where it was very calm, very beautiful. And he was just wandering around and thinking, oh, what happened to me? I lost everything so easily. And I'm still not able to come out of the trauma and thinking of the same thing again and again. What I lost, and my family, what will happen to my elephant, my patta gaja, who will feed it? I used to caress it and feed it every day. What about my royal horse? What about my royal wealth? What about my treasury? What about my army? What about my all the systems, the ecosystem that I had so well created with such hard work and planning? And now my sons are so inexperienced, and these ministers are so greedy. I don't know what will happen to them. Will they just make a waste of everything? Will they damage everything? Will everything be gone so soon? Soon. So he was thinking of the same thing. All that he lost, he was unable to come out of the trauma. As he was wandering around, he came to Sumedha Maharshi's ashrama. He was duly welcomed there. And as he was wandering in the ashrama, he met another person, a Vaishya, a rich merchant. And he befriended him, and they started talking to each other. And Surata Maharaja asked the Vaishya, who are you? Tell me about yourself. The Vaishya said, my name is Samadhi. I'm a very, very rich merchant. I have a big business empire. But my own wives, my own sons, my own relatives, for the greed of wealth, they betrayed me. My own hard earned money, wealth, they have usurped from me, and they have just thrown me out of the house. Now I have nothing in my hands. So I feel very sad. He was also very, very aggrieved. So now both of them were talking to each other, and they were discussing. Look, both of us have been uh, betrayed by our own people. We have lost everything from the people whom we always loved and cared for. So, but still we are unable to forget them. We are just thinking of the same again and again. Why can't we come out of the trauma? What binds us to that sorrow? And then they met Sumedha Maharshi and that great Maharshi. They prostrated before him and asked him, oh, great sage, tell us, what is this Maya, what is this Moha, which is disabling us to come out of that trauma and relax? What has gone is gone. Why can't we go ahead? Why can't we forget the past? Then Sumedha Maharshi told them, look, the whole world is bound by the Maya Shakti, not just you, both. Everybody, every creature in this world, from the tiniest to the biggest, including the Devatas, everybody is bound by Mahamaya. She is playing in this world, it's her Leela. She ties people down with her Mohamaya, Pasha, and she plays with everybody. So it is only her grace which can free us from this Moha Pasha. And he begins to tell the beautiful Leelas, the greatness, the virtues of the Jagannatha. And the narration was so interesting that Surata Maharaja and Samadhi, both of them say, oh wow, we really want to hear more, tell us more and more. So then begins the story, the three stories of Durga Saptashati. We come to the Prathama Charitra, where the Sumedha Maharshi begins to narrate the story of how the great demons Madhukaitaba were vanquished by Mahavishnu. Was inspired and motivated and directed by Jagannatha herself. Long, long ago, the Sthitikarta, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Srishtikarta, Sthitikarta, and Layakarta. There are three Shaktis there with three manifestations of one Paramatma. So, one, as Brahma, he creates, the same person becomes Vishnu to sustain, and he becomes Shiva to dissolve that. So, in all of them is that same Shakti Swarupini. And now Vishnu, his main role was to always protect the universes, and he just fell into sleep. The great Mahamaya Adya Shakti wanted to just have a Leela, so she entered him in the form of Yoga Nidra. She put him to a very deep slumber where he just forgot himself, and Vishnu was in the Ananta Shayana. And when he was asleep, from the dirt of his ears, two demons were born. They were named Madhu and Kaitaba. They were very strong, and because they were born of Vishnu's body, they had great strength. But because they were born in a tamasic moment, they had a lot of inertia, wickedness in their minds, and they were invincible. They were very powerful, and the first thing they did was usurp the worlds of all the devatas: Yaksha, Gandharva, Kinnara, Kimpusha, Siddha, Vidyadhara, Manava, everybody's wealth, everybody's lands. They colonized, what we say colonization today, what the Europeans and the Middle East people did across the world to colonize and loot. Almost the same thing was done everywhere. They usurped everybody's wealth and everybody's lands, and they dominated, and everybody were now their subservients. So now all the devatas were very, very sad. So they all came to Brahma and sought for some relief. So Brahma, along with them, said, "We have to pray to Jagannatha because she is the Yoga Nidra Shakti who has possessed Vishnu. It is only she, if she comes out of him, she inspires him, she wakes him up, only then anything can happen." So they all prayed to Devi, and that is called the Brahmadi Stuti. त्वं स्वाहा त्वं स्वधा त्वं हिव षट्कारस्वरात्मिका सुधा त्वमक्षरे नित्ये त्रिधा मात्रात्मिका स्थिता. It starts like that. So they prayed to her, "You are everywhere, O Jagannatha, where are you? Please come. Please relieve Vishnu from this Nidra Avastha, and may he wake up and save us from this Madhukaitava." So she said yes, and she came out from his body, from his eyes, from all his indriyas. He just awoke and he saw what is happening around. He had a deep sleep now. Madhukaitaba are creating havoc across the worlds. So he got up and went to battle with them. There was a very, very fierce battle for thousands of years. And then Madhukaitaba were very strong, no doubt. Vishnu was just allowing them to show their powers for some time. And then they were kind of very arrogant. So out of arrogance, they tell Vishnu, "Oh Vishnu, we are very happy. We really appreciate your prowess. So ask us for any boon." So Vishnu laughingly said, "Yes, I ask for your lives." So they were startled. They said, "Okay, then you have to kill us where there is no water." And that creation, when this happened, that particular yuga era was a complete, everything in creation, the medium was water. So they thought there will be no place to kill us. But then Mahavishnu took them and put them, placed them on his lap and pounded them with his mace and killed them. So, like this, Madhu Kaitaba were killed by Mahavishnu through the inspiration of Yoga Nidra or Kalaratri, Maharatri, Yoga Nidra, Nidra Devi. There are many names to her. So, like this, even Mahavishnu was put to sleep by Yoga Nidra, and only when she showed her grace, he could wake up and do his duty. So, this is the story which Sumedha Mashi narrates and says. There's one more story, very interesting, I'll tell you after this. And yes, Surata and Samadhi were really very interested. They said, "Yes, yes, it's very interesting. We really want to listen to you." And then Sumedha Maharshi continued. He said, "Now starts the Madhyama Charitra." So he says, yes, now after a very, very long time, again another very, very terrible Asura was born. His name was Mahishasura. His mother was Mahishi and his father was an Asura. So it was a combination of the very tamasic nature of the buffalo as well as the very, very crude nature of his father, Rakshasa. And this Mahishasura was a very, very arrogant and nasty person. He went across the worlds again. He usurped the wealths and the worlds of all the devatas, Yaksha, Gandharva, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, Manava, everybody. The lower worlds, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahitala, Patala, the upper worlds, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Jana, Maha, Tapaha, excepting the Satyaloka, which belongs to Brahma, everything he usurped. So now everybody was very sad. Now he took over the role of everybody. The Indra, Agni, Vayu, Varuna, Ashtadik had to just listen to him. He took over everybody's domain, and he was such a bully across the world. And now the Devatas were very sad. They all came to Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara and sought for some solution. Now, Mahishasura was not only strong, he also had did tapasya. So, by doing tapasya penance, he also had sought a boon. Naturally, like everybody else, obviously, he sought the boon of Amaratva, immortality. But Brahma said, no, I don't have the powers to give you immortality because I myself will remain only till the end of this kalpa. So ask for any other boon. Now, Mahishasura thought a lot and he calculated, okay, I will mention the names of every possible potential person who can kill me. So he mentioned, okay, I should not be killed by the Devatas, Deva, Danava, Manava, Yaksha, Gandharva, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, Siddha, Vidyadhara, all these. Nobody should be able to kill me. Not even the Nara, the male human being. Then he missed out or he deliberately, carelessly left away the name of the woman, the Nari. Perhaps he also thought, what can a Nari do to me when the very strong men cannot do anything to me? What will a delicate woman do to me? So he disregarded, he undermined the worth, the capability of a woman and said, okay, all these people should not be able to kill me. And Brahma said, Tathastu. Now, Mahishasura was almost invincible. Nobody could stop him. And he was such a bully and creating such havoc across the worlds. Now, the Devatas, all of them gathered in front of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. And all of them together in Katyayana Maharshi's ashrama had gathered there and they were planning what can we do. The Ashtadikpalakas came, Indra, Agni, Varuna, Vayu, Yama, Kubera, Niritti, all of them came and many others came. And now they were all planning what to do. Now they were all talking about the very nasty things that Mahishasura was doing. And listening to that, they were all angry and angry and angry. And a lot of anger showed in the face of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. And the anger itself became a ball of fire and it emanated from the forehead of Brahma and Vishnu and Maheshwara. And it became a heap of fire, a huge fireball. And the Kopagni Jwalas from the eyebrows, from between the eyebrows of all the Devatas, Indra, Agni, Vayu, and everybody, it emerged and it also joined that great ball of fire. So now there was a huge ball of mountain of fire which had completely enveloped the whole of the Akasha, the skies. And there, that great ball of fire took the form of a beautiful Nari, of a beautiful Devi, and that became Durga Parameshwari. Durgaha, one who, Durga means a mountain. Usually that represents metaphorically a problem. So she removes, she destroys any kind of biggest, even the biggest of problems. So she's called Durgaha, Durga. And this Durga Parameshwari emerged from that ball of fire. Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta Deva Karya Samutyata. That is Chidagni, not just Kopagni. Kopa for a nimitta. Kopa, anger, for the sake of protecting dharma is Chit, is Jnanamaya. Kopa for the sake of swartha or greed or for our own personal whims and fancies is wrong. That is adharma. But when Kopa comes to protect dharma, we have a the Kopa has a rightful, righteous purpose, then it is called Chitta. It is Jnanamaya Kopa. So she's also called Chidagni Kunda Samhita. She is born from the Chitta Agni, the fire of knowledge of all the Devatas, and Devakarya Samudyata, to do the task of the Devatas. So now Durga Parameshwari emerged, and from each of the devatas, her form started taking face, the eyebrows, the eyes, nose, mouth, body, neck, etc. From each of the devatas, one of their tejas went into her, and it gave her the form. And all their ayudas, all their beautiful ornaments, and whatever they were wearing, costumes, their vahanas, everything went to her. So, from a part of Shiva's Trishula, a Trishula went and joined her. From Vishnu's Shankha, Chakra, and Gada, a part of them went and joined her. Like this, Indra's Vajrayuda. So, everything, the tejas from everybody went and joined her, and she became a huge Durga Parameshwari. And she was gifted with the Simha and the Mala. So now she stood with 8 arms holding very brilliant weapons on the beautiful, majestic lion, and she was holding a shankha in her hand. And now she was ready to do the Devatas Karya. The Devatas were very happy and they were thrilled, excited that at last somebody to slay Mahishasura has come. Now one may ask, oh, then Durga Parameshwari has borrowed her power from everybody? No. Actually, she is Sarvaswarupe, Sarveshe, Sarvashakti Samanvite. She is already there in everybody. We see in the next coming Narayani Stuti, where they say, Sarvaswarupe, Sarveshe, Sarvashakti Samanvite. Vishveshwaritvam Paripasi Vishvam Vishwatmika Dharayasiya Vishwam. So she is Vishwatmika, she is the Atma of everybody. All the powers in every Devata is actually her. One Adya Shakti is a Shakti distributed into everybody. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsthita. So she is the Shakti who is already dormant potential in every Devata, and now for the Devata Karya, she again manifests. It's like electricity is already there, the connections are already there. We put on the switch and then we start feeling that. We see the work of the electricity. So she's already there, Shakti is already there, but when the Devatas come together and there's a purpose, there's a need, then she manifests herself. So now she's manifested from everybody's being. She's the collective Shakti of everybody, and she's a great Adya Shakti. She takes her conch, the Shankha, and blows it very, very hard. And the beautiful sound waves of the Shankha go and spread across the universe. And at a far off place, somewhere Mahishasura, now he had completely usurped everybody's lands and wealth and powers, and he was just enjoying in his tamasic way. He heard the Shankhanada and he was shocked. Who is that? Who is calling me for war? So he sent his charas to find out what is happening. They saw this beautiful, great form of Devi, this dynamic Devi with Ashtabhujas holding brilliant weapons and riding a Simha. And she's now manifested from all the Devatas and she's about to destroy Mahishasura. So Mahishasura got to know this and he was very, very wild with anger. And he sent all his great asuras. He had a big team of asuras like Udagra, Chikshura, Bashkala, and Mahahanu, and many, many others. So he sent them with big armies of 60,000, 1 lakh soldiers, charioteers, horse riders, and elephant riders, cavalry, infantry, everything. And they all possessed the best of the weapons. They were very strong, very well trained, and very, very incorrigible. And they went there and they fought against her. They tried to bind her down, they tried to kill her, they tried to beat her, but they were no match for Durga Parameshwari. Very easily, Leelaya, playfully, she vanquished them all. With all their weapons, were nothing in front of her. Nothing could pierce her, nothing could hurt her. And on the other hand, she showered a lot of arrows and she used all her brilliant weapons to completely vanquish all of the Sainya of Mahishasura, numbering lakhs and lakhs and lakhs. So now Mahishasura saw that whole of his army was totally destroyed. There was nothing remaining. All the best of his warriors were dead and they were trampled upon. Somebody had lost their necks, some had lost their arms, some were cut asunder, some were pierced through. So everything was lost. And it was not just the defeat, it was his ego that was very badly hurt and he could not tolerate that. One Yakkashchit Nari, one after all a woman, will destroy my army? No, I just cannot digest this. So now he himself went to have the Dvandva Yuddha, the duet fight with Devi. And Devi was waiting for that. Now Mahishasura was a very great warrior. He used all his prowess. He did everything that he knew, all the tactics of battle. And yes, Devi very easily, she allowed him to fight for a while and then easily defeated him all. And everything he did, every astra that he threw was totally useless in front of Devi. And he was very angry, very shocked, and he just could not digest that. And he was shouting and crying wildly. And then Devi took a break and said, Garja Garja Kshara Modha Madhu Yavat Pipamyam. So, okay, go on shouting for a while. I'll have a small break and drink some madhu. And then I will kill you right now, very soon. Garjishyam Devataha. So very soon the Devatas will begin to shout in joy when I have killed you very um, in no in few minutes from now. So then again she continues the great Yuddha, and now Mahishasura uses his Mayavi Vidyas, his very magical powers. So he takes different forms, like he takes the form of an elephant once, he takes the form of a lion once, he takes the form of a Mahisha once, takes the form of a human being once. So he keeps changing his strategies and forms and names. So whatever Devi does, he tries to avoid that, to escape that, and he changes his forms. But finally, Devi manages to uh, throw him onto the ground. She stands on his chest and she uses her great Trishulam, and she pierces it through the chest of Mahishasura. And just when he's coming out, he's changing his form from the Mahisha to the Rakshasa form, he's killed. And the tradition believes that this moment of the killing of Mahishasura happened between the Sandhi of Ashtami and Navami Tithis of Navaratram. And in that Manvantara, it occurred in the evening, the Sandhya Kala. That is why the Sandhya Kala of Navaratri is very, very auspicious, when the Dushta Damana Shishta Rakshana is done by Devi. So, Mahishasura, very, very powerful demonic king, was killed. Along with him, all his demonic powers were vanquished, and now all the worlds, all the lokas, all the wealth, all the possessions of all the devatas were given back to them. And everybody, what they truly deserved, what they truly had as their own, they got it back. And now peace was restored in all of the universe, and the devatas were very happy. They showered the pushpa vrishti, the rain of flowers, and they sang her stutis. They did puja to her, they did archana to her, they sang, and they did jaya ghosha to her, and they worshipped her in various ways with Rupadi, Paganda, Pushpa, Naivedya, all the upacharas. And Devi was very happy, and she said, "Yes, I am very happy. Ask me whatever boons you want." Then the Devata said, "What shall we ask, O mother? You are the mother. You know what to give us, when to give us. I don't think there's a point in asking you anything. The biggest problem we had, the headache we had, was Mahishasura. And now that you have vanquished Mahishasura, we have no more to ask, nothing more to ask. So all that we pray to you is those manavas, those human beings, ordinary people, who listen to the story of your killing of Mahishasura in the Sharannavaratram, may they be blessed by you. Give them everything they deserve, everything they want. Help them protect Dharma for the Manavas. So that is a very selfless boon the Devatas asked in Devi after the vanquishing of Mahishasura. So Devi was very happy and said, "Yes, sure. So whoever will worship me in the Sharanavaratram, whoever will listen to the story of this Mahishasura Vadha during the Sharannavaratram, I will specially bless them." And it is a very, very auspicious Shravana, Punya Shravana, Katha Shravana. And Devi says, "I'm always ready to help you. Whenever you have a problem, just think of me and I will come back. I'll be antarbhava, I'll always be abstract, I'll be formless, but I'm everywhere. I'm always watching, I'm in you and everything. And whenever the need is there, just pray to me, call me, and I will immediately come, manifest, and help you. Tread the path of Dharma, even if we take a little longer path, but we should always go on the Rajamarga. Never take the path of Adharma, because Adharmis may feel, oh, we are triumphing, we are winning, but there's an expiry date to Adharma always. But there is no expiry date to Dharma. Truth is truth. So truth is like the vast sky, and untruth and lies and adharma are like the clouds. Clouds have to melt someday. Whatever comes has to go, but whatever is always there. Satya Dharma is the Mula Swarupa of Paramatma, and that will always be there. So those who stand for truth, for Dharma, for Satya, will also be immortal, not just the physical immortality. The body has to fall someday, but by spirit will be immortal. We'll realize the ultimate, and by living in the body, we'll live like devatas. We'll overcome all our petty desires and petty problems and fears and shortcomings, and we'll live a life of dignity where we are resourceful to ourselves and to the whole world. So this is what we get by thinking of Devi. So Durgasaptashati is a very beautiful story, and by listening to that, there are so many details of the battle of Durga Parameshwari and Mahishasura and his Sainya, and those details give us a thrill by listening to all that, by listening to the story of Devi, how she protected the good people against a very, very wicked ecosystem, how she did a magic of completely ousting the wicked forces, is a great bharavasa, it's a great hope for us. So we need to listen to such stories because it will always tell us that yes, get up. Dharma will always remain. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. You protect dharma and dharma will protect you. And Devi herself is Dharma Swarupini. So listening to the story of Durgasaptashati during the Navaratram is a beautiful tradition. And the evenings of Navaratram are specially reserved for thinking of Devi in many various ways. We should listen to the story of Durga Saptashati, or we should do the Parayana of Durga Saptashati, or we can even have songs based on Durga Saptashati stories. We can have dance, we can have Harikatha, we can have dramas, we can have many types of puja, Gita, Nritya, Vadya, Vinodas, many ways you can do the Shilpa, you can go to a temple, watch. But Hena Kena Prakarina, by any and every means, we should think of her. We should think of the Mahishasura story, and that is very important in Navaratri. So today we have done the Shravana of the Prathama Charitra, that is Madhukaita Bhavada, and the Madhyama Charitra, that is a Mahishasura Vada. Tomorrow we listen to the Uttama Charitra, the third chapter of Durga Saptashati, that is Shumbha Nishumbhadi Vada, a big team of Rakshasas are vanquished again by Durga Parameshwari. We'll listen to the story tomorrow, and day after tomorrow, as per tradition, after the listening of Durga Saptashati, we listen to the story of Girija Kalyanam. We usually do the Mangala. We conclude with the listening of the Girija Kalyanam story, the auspicious story of the Shiva Parvati marriage. So tomorrow we'll again meet and think of and listen to the beautiful story of Devi coming back as Aparajita and vanquishing all the terrible Rakshasas like Shumba Nishumba, Artabija, Dhumralochana, Chandamunda, etc. So, with these words, I once again wish you a very, very happy Sharannavaratram. And in South India, we have a beautiful tradition of arranging dolls. You can see here we have a doll arrangement here in our house. So Devi is like Chit Swarupini. She is the Chaitanya Mahi. And she manifests as everything in this universe. She manifests as the Devata, as the Bijakshara. First as Omkara, then the Bijaksharas, through that the Devatas, through that the Panchabhutas, and from that all the names and forms. From the Devatas down till the humans, down till the animals, birds, insects, and the Vanaspatis, plantations, till the smallest organism. Everything is her. Chitirupena ya kritsnam etad vyapya sthita jagat. She's everything. She's the chit, she's the intelligence, she's the jnana, she's a life particle in everything. Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, tribals, all varnas. Everything is a beautiful domain. It's like different professions only. And then we have animals and plants, and we create small gardens. Then we have a small marketplace. We show Vyapara, we show Krishi, that is agriculture. Then we show Krida. So all this is demonstrated. So everything in our life, everything together is represented in the dolls, and we worship the whole doll arrangement as Devi. She is everything. So Sarvaswarupe Sarveshe. So this is a very nice symbolical tradition of South India, and I'm sure many other South Indian houses are also celebrating the Dolls Festival. It is the most choicest moment for all our kids, particularly. Even in our house, our kids helped us a lot in arrangement of all these things. So may Durga Parameshwari bless us all. These 9 days are very auspicious. Don't waste a single day. In some or the other way, whatever you can, think of Devi, read the Durga Saptashati, participate in dharmik activities, narrate the stories to your children, and let's keep thinking of Devi. Let's protect Dharma. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. By protecting Dharma, we shall also be protected by Dharma. May Durga Parameshwari bless us with Ayur, Arogya, Aishwarya, Abhivriddhi, Desha Bhakti, Dharma Nishtha, and Shanti, peace. Let her destroy all the internal and external enemies of our country and Dharma, and let her do the Dharma Jagrati in all of us. With these words, I conclude. And Sarvam Durga Devi Devyai Samarpanamastu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste.